Uh,
What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to another daily fantasy quick. Hey guys, day 2 of week number 2, and welcome to another quickie with me, JJT, and Komish Eric. Hopefully, you've been following us. We've been looking into the analytics or the stats of our YouTube channel, for Spotify. We thank you for subscribing, following, watching our videos, and hopefully we are able to help you guys at the same time, inform you of what's the latest, and as we talk about some of the players that are part of our worry list, feel good list, and our buy list. As we said, Komish is here with us. Komish, 4 games today. Um, a few surprises for today. Shea played, to the
yeah.
surprise, I guess, of lots of managers. If you are on a daily tomorrow format and you put him in your IL plus, that's going to be a big deal because you won't be able to play him today, right? So that's why we like the daily today format, easier to work around these injuries. So yeah, Shea played really well. Was even the
They
best
won.
score. They won
They won.
versus
Yeah,
depleted Clippers lineup as well.
three steals, 3 blocks, and as I said, I tweeted that I've seen everything.
All
Shea
right,
playing 100%.
I have a question to you. All right, because in one of my leagues, it's a 16-team league. There's a trade that's up right now for approval, and it's Shea for Kawhi.
Yeah, I think that's not vetoable. There's, but Shea is the better option there. We know who wins that trade. If you're asking who wins that trade, that's not even close. It's Shea. It's Shea. Especially after what we've seen with Kawhi so far.
Today, like
Before the
today.
season, before the season, we might not be sure. But now that we've seen Kawhi playing off the bench 20 minutes, 21 minutes, not really the old Kawhi yet, and then getting all these problems, it's obvious. Shea has his problems, Kawhi has his problems, but Shea has more certainty. At least Shea plays well, right? He
Mm-hmm.
starts and
And it's whenever he plays, he's not really on minutes limit, unlike Kawhi. I think the
yes.
challenge with Kawhi, so Kawhi was managed today, load managed today. They said it's injury management, although they said that there's some, I think, soreness or some pain in the knee that he is experiencing, which is
Stiffness.
stiffness. Yeah, stiffness was the right word, and which is also, from what I gathered or researched or read, it's weird for someone who's had ACL. Like doctor said, usually that doesn't happen from a guy who has just had ACL surgery.
But he
So
had it 16 months ago, so maybe that's the difference. Maybe this is something different already.
yeah,
Could be arthritis, tendinitis, or whatever, those kinds of things that happens because he has so many injuries already previously. So it could be because of that and not the ACL.
so
But
now
of
now
course,
that you've had Kawhi, would you treat this? Right? Like, what should you do if you have Kawhi? I mean, is there a
well, you could
tradable, like?
what well the SGA one, right? That's the best case scenario. That's perfect. If I own Kawhi, I was able to trade him for Shea, I'll be very very happy. We give Shea a negative connotation or negative outlook, but really Shea's a stud. You saw what he did today, and even if he gives you like what 3 games a week or maybe 60 games this year or 58 games, that's still better than what Kawhi will give you. So he's still gonna help you win a lot of weeks, a lot of categories
Yeah.
before he gets shut down. If he indeed gets shut down, as I said, nothing is sure in the NBA right now. He played while his hip was not 100%, and it was not 100%. I saw the game, saw him play. He was favoring his hips. He was favoring one part of his hip at some point in the game. So he wasn't healthy, but he was playing.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect. Another player maybe you could consider struggling players. I don't know, Zion. I mean, not struggling. Players who are also
Injured.
very risky.
Yeah.
Zion or maybe Chris Middleton, maybe Jaren Jackson. I don't know, not Jaren Jackson, but maybe Chris
Let's say
Middleton.
Jared Jackson. Would you? I mean, still Kawhi.
Uh, honestly, I'd
I think
probably
the
stay with
risks are pretty much on the same level at this point between the two.
yeah. But honestly, I feel like we might be overacting with Kawhi. It's possible Kawhi's playing. It might just be really not playing for 1.5 years and coming back to play. Of course, it's different. So maybe it's just that. So I would probably stay with Kawhi in the Jaren Jackson thing, but Middleton. Maybe the manager is already very impatient.
Worried. Yeah.
Worried, not worried, but impatient. He knows Middleton will be out, but maybe he needs some more early help. So Middleton, maybe if you're really, really desperate, maybe Ben Simmons for you. Uh, that's possible, right?
Yeah. So
I think
Kawhi will also miss the second game, the
second
second
game.
OKC game. I mean the second game of the Clippers against the OKC. So he's gonna be out as well in that game, as well as Paul George is gonna be out. I think Paul George is illness, not
Sick,
really injury related.
sick. Marcus
Uh,
Morris is also out.
Marcus Morris is also out due to personal reasons. So, but yeah, the focus was on Kawhi just because he was surprised. We were quite surprised that he didn't play today. It was kind of
I'll
a late minute scratch.
I'll be worried if he doesn't play after that. After the OKC game, if he still doesn't play, I think they come home already. In after OKC game, he still doesn't play that. My something might be really wrong. Something more than just stiffness, which is
Yeah.
the word for the year so far, by the way. Stiffness. we've, we've heard
Well,
it.
there's always an injury of the year, right? We always
Yeah.
have that. I think 2 years ago it was what the
Toe,
foot toe, yeah, the toe.
toe, yeah, toe.
Everyone
That
seemingly
was a
had
thumb.
toe injury. Last year it was the thumb, somewhere in the hand, finger, or whatever. Those usually was the that's usually the injury last year. Now it's more of the stiffness all over the body.
Yeah, Bradley Beal today left the game with stiffness in his back,
Yeah.
back stiffness, and then he came back to play late in the third. I think close to the fourth already. He left before halftime, so I don't know what that was, but supposedly he's fine, but something to also monitor. Bradley Beal's not a healthiest player as well,
Yeah.
so something that's really worrying also if
I
he's
mean,
experiencing anything in his body.
yeah. Yeah, but the biggest worry player is not actually the injured player, but we want to talk about today. It's Cade Cunningham. I
Yeah,
think we
but
briefly
but but
talked
but
about him.
can I add just one thing before we go to Cade? All these things make us learn one thing. When somebody's really injury prone, he's really gonna injury. You have to consider that during the draft. And I know some experts say that there's no such thing as injury prone. There is. For me, there is no such thing as there's a player who will not get injured. Like Garland. Garland's eye, that's fluke injury, right?
Yeah.
That's nothing you can do about it. But there are just players who are
Hey,
more
we
prone to injury.
yeah, but
That,
we've got some injury prone guys still uh playing. I don't want to
still, as of
mention names, but you might
but but
jinx
but
it.
but you it will it's like deja vu just happening again and
AD,
again. The Miles Turner,
AD, AD,
AD, and everything. So
KP,
it's just something
KP.
that looking back in the draft process, maybe if you chose these players, it's really your fault. Like me, I don't have nobody to blame but myself in choosing Zion Williamson. There's only have one stock of Zion and it's already
In
giving me
fairness,
headaches.
to Zion, that's a really hard fall. It wasn't, I know he can be injury prone, but uh, the sample size is not as many or as big as maybe some of the other guys.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
but
he's played what he played a couple of years ago, pretty much the whole season, right? And then the only season he missed was last year. So the sample size is not as big. And
but
yes, what
but
happened
didn't
the
he
other
miss
games?
his rookie year? He missed a lot of games, right?
I couldn't remember.
Last year
Yeah,
was
I
his
think
third
he did.
year.
I think he did.
Yeah, he missed a big part of his rookie year also. So yeah, I guess the point. I just want to make is injury prone is injury prone. There is such a
Yeah, I
thing.
think managers understand that. Certain players, like I said, AD, who is still
AD.
uh
But
there every fall or every drop by that guy gives managers the nervous feeling what would happen,
but
right?
you have to. The point is you have to put that into consideration in building your team. You have to put that into consideration in building your team.
Or learn the hard way.
Lose
I'm
first.
sure there've been a lot of AD managers who've learned their lessons every single year.
Yeah.
Uh, and if you talk to them, they're hard pass on such players.
We're still playing though. So let's see.
Like I said.
Let's see tomorrow. Let's see
All
tomorrow.
right, let's talk about Cade
Cade. Let's go to
Cunningham.
Cade.
Let's go
Yeah.
to Cade. This is probably the same boat as Anthony Edwards, but
Yes.
I guess the potential is not as high or it's not as exciting. Um, Cade, a little lower than in terms of ADP to Anthony Edwards, but has been struggling. I mean, maybe struggling is too strong of a word because he's been playing okay, but not to the level that we really expect or want, right? Not the second round level. At least Anthony Edwards had a 30-point game, 11 rebound, 30, 11 rebound game. Cade hasn't really done anything like that. Even the assist numbers are down, the
Yeah.
rebounding numbers are down. The scoring, maybe it's there, it's close. Um, but I think a lot of these things is because of how Detroit has built the lineup around him. I'm not even sure if he's the star player there right now.
Well, he is. He is the star player. He just not playing like the star player. Uh, but he is the star player. The question here is it Jaden Ivey or is he struggling? Right? That
I
I
think
think
it's Jaden Ivey. A big part of that is the assist. A big part of that is Jaden Ivey.
um I guess, but the usage is there. He's 27 last year, 27 this year, so it's still the same. The shooting is really bad, 37, 38%. I think that's the number one thing that has to improve. But as you said, the assist worries me also because it's going down every game. As
Yeah.
Ivy gets more comfortable, he gets more chances to handle the ball. So I might have underestimated the effect of Ivy on
I
Cade.
think a lot didn't see Ivy playing this much usage as well.
And this good this early.
Yeah.
I have to admit I was wrong on Ivy. I did not think he was this good right away. I was thinking him to be more like Suggs actually than like a very very poor version of Jamoran. I was thinking he will have a first season of like not as bad as Suggs, but something like that.
Yeah.
Like very minimal impact if there is. Like somebody who can defend, he's exciting, athletic, but he's so far been way way better, and the effect on Cade is very very obvious, right?
Yeah.
So and the problem with Cade, as I said, you picked him top 30. People picked him top 30, and that is the problem.
We
He's
we
not gonna reach
let's face it. We also had some Cade stocks picked top
me.
30.
I have, I have,
Yeah, I think in
yes,
our first couple of drafts we picked them
yes,
high, and then
yes,
later on we kind of stayed away a little bit just to try
yes,
out the other players, and as we get news as well, he wasn't as exciting choice as we would have wanted. Plus, we've had so many leagues. We wanted to try out different lineups, different players, but yeah, we kind of initially saw this as one of the breakout players this year, Cade. But like I said, with even the offense, I think the scoring, they got Bogdanovich. He eats up in the scoring. Uh, for Cade, he affects the scoring of Cade as well because they've got more scorers around Cade now. Then of course Ivy is another big thing, and then Stewart seems to be getting along as well. I mean, getting on board, rebounding better, I mean, compared to last year. So a lot of these things, I think, has an effect on Cunningham. And like you said, I think in one episode we had, I think 2 days ago, he isn't the type of guy who's going to be really aggressive to get his game going.
Yeah, that is the problem. He's too passive. His personality is too laid
That's why
back.
I said he doesn't seem like a star. He doesn't seem like a superstar or a star player
Yes,
of a
the
team.
the yeah, that's
If you,
true.
I watched the game a while ago, and he just looks like one of the guys out there. Just one of, I mean, you might have thought Bojan was the superstar. He was the one scoring a lot, right? But not Cade. Like he was just, you won't even notice him during games, making
And
an impact.
the thing is, I think Detroit hasn't won yet, right? They have won one, or I think they've lost every game. And usually in such a bad team, a player who's a number one pick like him, who's clearly the guy that they're building around, you would have to take the game, as in take over the game, even
Yeah,
if you shoot
you
five
have
out
the
of 25.
license. You have the
Yeah, if
license.
you shoot 6 out of 25. Who cares? You just have to do everything you can. Like, what's the example? I mean, Ja Morant before, when Ja was a rookie, like, I mean, Memphis was bad, but he will not allow himself to be like the second option, third option, or just
Which it seems like that is happening. It seems like that's happening as
yeah.
well. Yeah,
This is again, last time I said buy low. I think this is still a buy low chance, but you're getting really low. You're getting to the point where you might be able to get him for a fourth rounder, a fifth rounder, because Cade managers are probably, if they got him in the second or third, they're worried. They're really worried right now. So you can use that panic to your advantage and float some offers out there.
any name you have in mind?
I was actually thinking of names, no, but Scotty's injured. Scotty Barnes injured, but I like Cade over Scotty this year. He's around fourth round, so I think that's a deal I would make. Who else? Well, Evans.
Interestingly, this is one interesting thing that's happened this year. I mean, of the batch of rookies last year, the one that struggled the most last year is the one that's flourishing right now, which is Jalen Green.
Yeah,
And the other
that's true.
guys who have been flourishing last year is struggling. And Scotty Barnes, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, these three guys have been really struggling. So, this year so far to start this, I mean, Evan Mobley has some so-so game, but I'm pretty sure we talked about him the other day. Not the level we expect, I guess, or we want. But we'll see if Garland comes back. We might have better
I
chances, better scoring opportunities.
I'm thinking if you own Cade, who you could target if you want to unload Cade. I was thinking Garland. Maybe the manager is really irritated already with the injury. I think Garland is sneaky right
We
now.
talked about him. Do you think Chris Middleton would be a good player to target? He
For
is
Cade,
probably around 2 weeks in, so he'll probably be out another 2 weeks.
I think that'll be a fair trade. That's not a buy low or a sell high kind of trade. I think it's a fair trade. Middleton, once healthy, and Cade right this year might be close to each other. I think Garland might have a better chance of being higher than Cade. So I think I'd like that, and he probably is a little gettable just because of the injury. Maybe the manager just again is impatient, or is just
Rozier, fair,
yeah. I go Rozier over Cade. I'll go Rozier over Cade
because those are
this
the
year.
guys who are, quote unquote injured at this point, and
Yeah,
usually that's
but
the
if you're thinking buy low, get a Brunson, maybe Brunson, offer Brunson for Cade. I still think Cade's better. Those kinds of level, I think, might be the players you go to.
yeah. Yeah, so Cade Cunningham, our biggest worry for today. Yeah, you can still wait. I think there's still time. It's really early. I mean, we're what 4 or 5 games in. This might just be a slow start for him, but of course, you have to watch some games to see if it can still improve. I think it can still improve. It can still improve. A lot of things can
It
still
will.
happen.
It will improve. It will improve. But
Um,
he's not gonna be a second rounder this year.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Not other worry players we have some low end worry players. I think these have been asked about in our some of our social media platforms. The Baisley, Ludort, Baisley again has been up and down. We're not talking about up and down like your fifth, sixth, seventh best guy, right? These are last, towards the end of the your rosters, 12 man, 13th man maybe. Some managers are thinking, are these guys worth a hold, or are these guys should these guys be dropped? Let's say Baisley, for example. Would you rather
He's
have Baisley or maybe Ball?
I'll go ball.
Or
That's an
maybe
easy.
Norm?
Oh, that one's tougher. I'll probably still hold Norm because I think Norm's just struggling with his shot. As I said, we have seen this before, but it's just irritating. But it will come back. It will come back. Plus, there's the possibility of Kawhi missing more games, so it's hard to drop him right now. But Baisley, he has played some good games, like today, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block. That's considered a good game. He had 2 steals, 3 blocks in one game. Those are the reasons why you think, okay, uh, maybe I can roster him, I can add him. But there's a reason why he keeps on going back to the waiver wire. I mean, he doesn't score a lot. He doesn't rebound anymore. He doesn't get minutes anymore. He gets 20, 18,
16,
19 for
20 is a
minutes.
lot. I think he gets around 18, 17 minutes per game.
Baisley is the guy that everybody will stream this year, who will be part of the roster of every team in your league because everybody will drop him. And then when you see OKC, I need someone, okay, Baisley, okay, I'll pick him up. And then you drop him again. Just check your league. How many at the end of the season owned Baisley? He might be owned by half or even more of the league.
No, no, and if you're not yet dropping him, if you haven't really dropped him yet, yeah, he probably still hasn't been owned by a lot of players, but throughout the season, he might be that guy.
Yeah.
That could be owned. Lou Dort, on the other hand, has had the
Oh,
minutes.
Ludor.
He's had the
Ludor.
minutes.
Yeah, he has had the minutes, but like today, he's 1 out of 11. That's what
Well,
Ludor
that's
can do.
classic Lou Dort.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
That's
I,
classic
I
Ludor.
personally, even if he's dropped, I he is one of those guys that I don't really stream. Even if there's a good matchup, I just he's not one of the guys that really catches my eye when I look for players to stream. Just because it can get ugly.
It can. I understand your point. I understand where you're going, but it's really just field goal. The problem with him is really just field goal. And it's hard to find someone who has that usage, who has starter minutes playing in a team that he's probably the second best or third best option. So it's hard to find something like that on the wire. So, and he's been okay. Again, depends on your team. I understand with you. If you're close in the field goal, I would think twice about
Yeah.
Dort. But if you're down already in field goal, that's not a category you're fighting for. Go ahead. But I think
But
Dort should
is
not be
he
dropped though.
is should not be.
Drop. I
All
don't think
right.
he should be.
Yeah, that's the one thing I would ask. Is he the type of player that should be rostered? Because I don't see him in the waiver wire in any
I
of the
think he
leagues.
he still should be rostered. He might be in your waiver wire soon if because of the 1 out of 11
And if he
performance
throws in
today.
another one of those 1 out of 11,
One of
1 out
those,
of
and he'll
10,
be dropped. He'll be
yeah,
dropped.
he'll
But
be like the KPJ of last year.
OKC is just wide open, in my opinion. It's just so
That's
many
the problem
chances.
with OKC. It's so hard to pick who to stream there, other than maybe Trey Man.
Treyman, Aaron Wiggins.
Yeah, but there's really no quote unquote certainty in what
Yeah.
they're gonna do.
For
One day they might play this guy, the next day they play the other guy.
for OKC standards, Wiggins is already quite safe. So I think Treyman, okay, Wiggins, and then basically these are the guys I would go first. I would put Muscala there right now. Mike Muscala is getting minutes and he's been playing quite well. The last option for me is Poku and Jeremiah Robinson Earl. JRE, even if he starts, this guy is like Tony Snell of big men. He just doesn't do much. He just doesn't do much.
Hey,
He
he
doesn't
did
score.
well the other day.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, you could give him 200 minutes and he'll probably just give you, I don't know, a couple of rebounds and a couple of steals or blocks there, lucky steals, lucky blocks. So that's my last resort. He won't hurt you, but he won't do anything either. so,
Yeah.
so that's
So
my
these
last
are
resort.
low end guys. We're talking about. I know not the exciting top guys, but we've gotten a lot of questions about whether to drop this guy, to drop this guy for this guy. There's a lot of those. Like you said, Baisley, Norm Powell, who else?
Powell, Dort,
Bones Highland. Those
yeah,
guys we've
Bones.
been talking about for the past few days. So yeah, they're not strongholds. I guess if you see some, I think I categorize them under the if you see someone better, it's not hard to drop them. If you see someone
I
you
think,
feel that's who's going to be better, who has higher potential, higher upside, then it's not hard to drop them.
agree, agree.
They're
And
not
and
really
you,
the drop them right now. But if you then can't get anyone better, then might as well keep
well,
them for a few more games, right?
if you own Baisley, it's either you're in a deep league 18 team, 16, 20 team, or your
All
team
right, in the
sucks so
14
much.
team, if you
Your
own
team
basically, you just
so much.
stream his spot, I guess.
Yeah. Either your team sucks so much that he's not your worst player, or your team is so good that you're just cruising. That's the only reason. But if your team is competing, no.
Yeah. So yeah, basically do Dort. We've got some waiver wire, potential waiver wire ads, in case these injuries pile up. We talked about Bradley Beal having hip or back stiffness. In today's game as well, Dylan Wright, one of the nice pickups, in case you need some steals and blocks, also got injured. I think it's a hamstring injury. And Will
Yeah.
Barton got most of the minutes. I also posted in our Twitter account that Will Barton should be a watch, or at least you can add him and see what happens kind of thing. Just because he got the minutes, and there's really no timetable yet for Dillon. But in case Dillon misses time, he should be the beneficiary there.
Yes, I agree. Will Barton, I think he's getting a lot of bench role, bench points, bench minutes because he's their sixth man. So yeah, Will Barton is someone to consider.
Other guys, how about the New Orleans guys?
New Orleans guys,
Who do you
well,
think sticks there? Who do you
Trey.
think?
Trey will stick. I mean,
Trey Murphy
Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy will stick.
was
Even
perfect today.
yeah, even before they got
He
injured, he
shouldn't
was
be dropped. He
fine.
shouldn't be like a waiver type of guy.
He should not. He should not. And if you listen to us, I really been mentioning Trey a lot. So I like Trey Murphy. He should be there. Alvarado,
Wait, just
if
to
Ingram,
clarify, Trey Murphy should be rosterable even when New Orleans is fully healthy.
yes, he is rosterable. At in the 14 team, definitely rosterable. 12 team, if everybody's healthy, maybe borderline, like not really must hold, but still good enough. I think like a Tari Eason type, there, he just does enough to have value. So he's there. Alvarado, I think if Ingram misses more, as long as Ingram is out, I think Alvarado might start with McCollum at the guard spot. So that's what he can do: steals, some threes. So
Assists,
that's
some
that's
assists.
solid, Alvarado. And then Larry Nance didn't have a good game today, but as long as
He
Zion
had
is out,
an okay game. Okay game.
Nance should be okay. Najee Marshall also will replace Herb Jones. Okay game also, just points, nothing much, but that's what he can do. So these guys, Nance and Marshall and Alvarado, are just replacement players. Of the three were out: Herb Jones, Zion, and Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, so once the three comes back or some of the guys come back, they lose
They
some
lose
a
all
big
their
part
value.
of their value, depending on who returns to the New Orleans lineup. Tomorrow there will be some injury to watch out for as well. Vassell could be out tomorrow. Is he out? No, not yet, right? He could be
Doubtful.
out.
Doubtful. Yeah.
Westbrook, in case you're still, is Westbrook a
Doubtful.
drop?
Yes. Westbrook's a drop right now. Well, if you have again, like But this is more a better hold than Beasley though. But if there's a hot free agent, I will make the switch and not look back. Now that he's having a hamstring issue or something, it's an easier drop. I think
Right. So
easier drop.
Westbrook could be out as well. Who else are out?
MPJ
MPJ,
MPJ
Michael
is
Porter Jr.
injury
would be.
management for MPJ. Sengun is still out. Rozier, I think, would still be out. Those players. Yeah.
Garland still out. I think
Garland's out.
Garland's target to play would be on Friday. Not sure if it's Friday here or
It's
Saturday
coming.
here. Yeah,
Coming.
I think within the week he is target. That's his target to play. So for
Miles
Garland
also,
owns.
Turner, I think, is questionable already. He might have a chance to play tomorrow. So monitor the updates for that.
Yeah. So in case Vassell is out, who do you like there? Josh Richardson,
I think
maybe.
Josh. Yeah,
Who's
Josh.
Josh? Josh Richardson or Josh Primo?
I think Josh Richardson.
Right.
The
He is the
Primo
logical
Primo
guy.
Primo is okay, but Josh Richardson is more consistent. So just for streaming, maybe Richardson. If this
Be
becomes a
careful
long
with
term,
that more consistent Josh Richardson.
yeah. Why?
Because he's not known to be consistent.
No, I mean he's better than
He's
Primo. At least
safer,
more
I guess, safer option
safer. Yeah.
than Primo.
But
The
but
chances
if
of him producing or giving you good fantasy numbers are higher than Primo.
yeah, but if Richardson, but if Vassell is out for longer, Primo will become more appealing because the Spurs would probably give him more reps. If Vassell is really out long, they'll probably try to develop him more.
Yeah. Plus,
Just for one game than Richardson.
plus Josh Richardson is one of the names being floated around there as trade piece, right? For
Yeah,
the
they might.
is it the
Yeah, that's true.
Lakers? Is it the Lakers again?
Lakers. The Lakers. Yes.
Lakers just throwing out names there to see what the market is like for Russell Westbrook. But yeah, Rozier is another name that's been thrown out there. So we'll watch that. Feel good player, guys. Zubac had 7 blocks. 7. How many blocks is he averaging? I think he's averaging 3 point something.
Yeah, and 14 rebounds also.
So really
He's been playing very well.
a steal, a steal. Zubac has been that type of player anyway. I mean, not 7 blocks good, but he's gonna have some really good games, really great games, and then he tapers off to some of the so-so mediocre type of games. So it's gonna be up and down, but overall he's gonna be solid because he doesn't really hurt you with the turnovers. He doesn't shoot the ball badly. He has good free throw for a center, so he doesn't really hurt you as much as other players do. So yeah, if you pick him outside the 100, he's gonna be a good steal for you there.
A good steal, yeah.
One surprise player that might have been overlooked during drafts is Christian Wood.
Yeah,
Just
Christian
because
Wood.
the news of him, being a 6 man, I think caused managers to shy away from him a bit.
That's true. That's true. And also, I think the free throw shooting was over hyped or over talked about.
Now he's
Christian
not shooting
Wood.
much free throws.
He's been shooting a lot of outside shots, a lot of 3-pointers, and people were. I heard someone say about how would he perform when he plays for a contender, which is Dallas. He has not played for one. He's played for poor teams and teams where the discipline is bad. You can just take as many shots as you can. And in Dallas, it's Luka's team. How will he react? He's probably not gonna adjust well and everything, this and that. But so far, it's been A plus behavior. Took the 6-man role well, and then just doing his job.
And doing well. Doing
it well. Yeah, doing well.
And he is also causing problems to one of my favorite last end players, Dorian Finney-Smith, who hasn't been playing well. I think that's a big reason why he hasn't been playing well, Christian Wood. Because the usage isn't there anymore, the time. I think Christian Wood plays more than the DFS. So DFS is usually a good, last pick or second to the last pick, 10th, 12th round pick or 11th round pick. But now I think he's gonna be a drop.
Yeah,
I've seen
he's
him being
droppable.
dropped, so I think he is droppable already at this point.
Droppable.
Yeah,
Yes.
no one will really try to pick him up off the waivers. So yeah, feel good player, Christian Wood and Zubac. And that's it for another daily fantasy quickie, guys. It's
Hello.
um just a quick conversation discussion. Hope you like this format. I mean, of all the some of the fantasy content, we're not really into diving in too much into the details, but we're more of a conversational type of format. So yeah, just comment down below if you like it, or if you don't, that's fine. We'll try to improve some of our content. We're getting nice traction in our YouTube channel, so thank you for those. And of course, hope you can follow us as well on Spotify, Fantasy Benchwarmers. Just click the follow button there so you'll be notified, or you will be updated when we upload a new episode, which is usually daily. All right, that's it for Daily Fantasy Quickie. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys.